Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Monday Musings. It's midweek musings from now on, I think. We had a game on Monday, so I didn't tweet it out on Monday, but we did send out some musings on Tuesday, and this is the responses I got from you guys. The questions I pitted to you is number one, what is the main differences between giving the top teams a game last year and losing them this year? Now this is a this is it, isn't it? What is the difference between this year and last year? I think one of the main differences is the quality of the league and the quality of the sides. The stadium, although I'm not going to blame everything on the stadium like I have in the past, it is a major factor in not giving the big teams a game. There's no home advantage there at the moment. It's brand new to us as it is to every other team. It seems to suit the bigger teams. I don't know whether West Ham can look at that in the summer and maybe adjust the pitch size or something and make it a little bit smaller. I'm not sure whether they can do that. I don't know, there just seems to be a lack of confidence this year going up against the big sides. We was very confident last year. Every game I remember going to, every game against the top sides, always thinking we was going to get something out of the game at least. You look at the fight backs, we played Chelsea on Monday, of course, league leaders, and you can't really complain about losing to them. But it's not the fact that we lost to them. I think it's the fact of the manner of the defeat. They sort of controlled the game. Last year, we got in amongst all the big sides. Competitive, getting the ball, pressing high up the pitch, and we don't seem to be doing that this year. Let's have a look to see what you guys think is the main problem this year. At Lukey Morden says, we had a dreadful squad this time last year. We had a better squad this time last year than this year. Fact, transfer business was dreadful. Obviously, we've lost a lot of big players as well. Steve at SD66 Dan says the stadium is a European style ground, big players and other teams not as intimidated. That's another big reason people didn't like coming to the Bowling, because it was so tight, so compact. The crowd was fearsome, and it's not as compact, although we will find other ways to inspire our team, I believe. At Tony the Italy says passion and speed. Last season we took the game to them, now we pass it sideways and backwards. Our build-up players too slow. At F_Anderson says Upton Park pitch and atmosphere allowed us to press high and intimidate. Big teams now given more time and West Ham made to work harder. At Joshua Lister 8 says at Upton Park the crowd were right over the visiting players, pressuring the players, no atmosphere, quite like Upton Park, just like I was saying. At Crest WHU, we don't come in the games with the right tactics and have no plan B, lack energy and pace going forward and neglect pressing teams. We have got a very big lack of pace, and I think there's too many players in there that are similar as well. Obiang and Noble doing the same job. I don't think it helps us at all. Obiang, I feel, is a better player than Noble. But Noble brings the, what can I say? Noble brings the experience and the passion and the understanding of West Ham. So you're damned if you're doing, you're damned if you don't. At Mark Sherburn, great question. Confidence. Last season high, this season low. Starts good, poor. Morale high, low. Payet situation didn't help. At WHU IMO, one word, fight. At Jake Loadman, combination of two things really. Squad hasn't really progressed and our home ground is an advantage as of yet. At WHU_JJ45, the away fans and the opposition are not that intimidated as they were at the Bowling Ground. Deafening atmosphere. Take a couple more from this, there's plenty. At Howardinho says, Payet was last season one of the best players in the world. Made a huge difference. He obviously isn't with us anymore. At Tomby Thames, Tomby the Thames, lack of drive behind the team. On and off pitch last season we were chasing Europe in electric atmosphere. This year we're not. And last but not least, Vass 18_Flick77, players in their natural positions. This season we've had to stop gaps and players all over the place. No consistency. So a range of answers there, but they all seem to stem to the ground and the lack of investment in the squad. Let's get into the next one, number two. It's quite a simple one, this. The opinion is very much split. Is Mark Noble good enough to be in our midfield every week? Now, I'm going to upset a few people here when I say this, but I don't believe so. I think Obiang's a better player, as I just said in my last answer. I think Obiang's the better player. They do a very similar job, but Obiang seems to have more about him in terms of running with the ball, a bit more pace, more of a calm head. He gives the ball away a lot. Noble, he has done in the last half a season or so, and I don't believe that them two sort of complement each other. And I would pick. Unfortunately, I know Mark's a big West Ham fan and he's one of our own, and I don't want to see people like him getting dragged out of the side. But they're too similar, and I would pick Obiang just for ability wise over Noble all day long. What we need is a covering midfielder and somebody that, if we're playing that sort of three in the midfield with the the guy on the diamond and the two, not holders, but the two in the middle. You need someone who's going to stay back and do the dirty work, and then you've got to have someone that can get box to box, that does the dirty work. But then when the attack breaks and we're going on the attack, we need someone that can join the attack with them. And Obiang and Noble don't do that for me. No, I don't think he is. And to be honest with you, I think come the summer, if Chick isn't moved back into midfield, or say it happens, I think we'll sign another box-to-box midfielder, and I think Noble will gradually be sort of weaned out of the side. But he's very important. It's not just footballing ability, of course. He's very important in terms of understanding West Ham and understanding the club and understanding how we play and understanding the fans and the pressures of playing under them crowds. So let's have a look, see what you could do, because these debates are getting into real slanging matches, right? So Stephen Rolls at Roller83, in my opinion, no, he isn't. Could really do with Keate in there. Now he could be our box-to-box midfielder. At Jack_Hobson12, Noble was one of our most important players, but he's massive, weak link at the same time. At Drew WHUFC just says no. At Joshua Lister sent me like a little picture here of Noble's pass. A lot of successful passes, but most of them backwards. At Costa Hammer, not his fault, just not mobile enough now, and the pace of his passes is very slow. We need more urgent and crisper passing. I agree with that. Unfortunately, if you're not performing, then you should be dropped. This is from at Hummers_social. Unfortunately, if you're not performing, then you should be dropped. He's too slow on the ball and loses it too easily. At Mike Byron says not when you have Czech and Obiang. At Jake Lodeman says no, he isn't. But the people calling for us to sell him are absolutely stupid. Offers more than just the football side. As I said, he's a West Ham boy through and through. I wouldn't sell him. No way would I sell him. At WHUFC JJ45, no, get straight to the point. He's always a sideways and then backwards. We need Czech and Obiang in the middle who can play it forwards. A lot of people saying no. At Lauren Johnson 16, am I the only one who thought Noble had a good game? We hardly touched the ball when he got subbed. At James G Parmenter, sorry, but who else is there? Coyote is awful on the ball and has lately been reckless in the tackle. I don't agree with that really. He had a bad start to the season. He got moved into centre back, and since he's come back in the middle, he's been a lot better. Joshua Lister 8 again. He has no urgency. Obiang and Coyote in midfield could work better with Fernandez or Byram at right back. This was up Mark and the team. Mark Sherburn Brown says yes, he covers all the pitch. Never been fast, but reads the game well. Makes a lot of tackles and interceptions. At Vaz18 Flick 77, good enough, yes, but not as a starter. When we're in front and need to slow the game down, bring him on. I agree with that. And one more at Adam27996. Fans are using him as a scapegoat. Yesterday his tackling was good and passing was decent. One mistake and people go crazy. I disagree a little bit there. It's not just one mistake. It's mistakes over a long period. Right, so let's go to the next one. Where is the next one? Okay, this concentrates more on the side, and the thing that's really got up my nose. Number 3, do you believe as square pegs are still put into round holes? And when I say that, I'm talking about the people covering positions what they shouldn't really be covering. That Bilic was the one who decided we didn't need a right back or a striker. Was he really the one? I can't see that being the case. Carroll, for me, he doesn't stay fit enough to warrant not having a second striker. That's for one. £15 million, although it sounds like a lot of money, in today's game is peanuts. Now I know what's happened to Scott Hogan since then, but if you look at his injury, it was in-game injury. It may not have happened if he had come to us, but what I'm saying is £15 million isn't a lot of money for a different option, and we don't have any options. When you look at him against Chelsea, he looked very isolated, very lonely up there on his own. Bear in mind we've got a lack of pace and creativity on the wing now with Snodgrass. Works very hard. He's a very good player. I like him there, but he's not the quickest, and he's not going to join the attacks like the likes of Payet or Lanzini does playing on the left wing. I can't see that being the choice. You know, when you've got the choice of the manager, and let's be fair, whose job hangs on the balance of getting results. It's a results business. What manager's going to turn down players, even if he didn't fancy them? Maybe he could use them, sparingly. Maybe he can, play them until they get, until the first team has come back, then loan him out, or I don't know, something like that. But I can't see it being the choice of a manager to turn down players in positions that you need. For instance, is he going to turn down a right back, seeing as we've got no right back? He obviously doesn't fancy Byram. There's obviously a problem with Arbeloa. Arbeloa's just wasting money and time being at West Ham, in my opinion. They should release him immediately, just cancel his contract. He's wasting his time. We're wasting our money paying him. Pay him off, get him off the books, and we should have got another right back in. Simple as that. Somebody, right back, I feel would have been even more of a priority than the striker position, because although we've got Sacco coming back, we've got Enner Valencia out on loan, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? I know he's not the greatest, but when you've got no one, anyone's better than no one. We saw a similar situation a couple of years ago for the same reasons, with injuries, and we had sort of like Mauro Zarate out on loan. Now, what would we take to have a Mauro Zarate back right now? Anything. And it just bewilders me why they've made these decisions. It upsets me that they've made these decisions, and they've sort of seen this season as a bit of a write-off, and they don't think they'd have to do as well as they would do if they was pushing for a European place. It's still not beyond the realms of possibility. If they'd have invested a bit of money in a sort of a goal scorer for the now, Jermaine Defoe, someone like that, we wouldn't be in this position. We'd be a little bit higher up the league. And it bemuses me, the right back situation, especially because we haven't had a right back for a few years now, since Guy Demille left. And it's been a few years since he left, a couple of years since he left. And was he good enough? Not really. Not for the league. We're in too slow. Couldn't whip a ball in to save his life. We took loan in Jenkinson, who worked out very well the first year, but he didn't belong to us. Now, he doesn't fancy Byram. He thinks Byram's a bit too young, a bit too inexperienced. Now, myself, when I've seen Byram coming on, he's done better job than Cech has at right back, because he's a natural right back. And we're wasting one of our best midfielders playing at right back badly, just like we did with Antonio. Because of the right back situation, we've had our top goal scorer at right back for a quarter of the season. It's just bemusing. And why they don't want to rectify it, I don't know. I can only say that this summer is going to be a big summer for West Ham. I don't believe Bilic made them decisions. I believe Bilic come out and said he made them decisions to save face. But anyway, let's get into what you guys said. At Luke Morden, even if it was up to him, he was only allowed to spend around 15 mil, which isn't enough for a team in a 60,000 seater stadium. At West Ham Social says he was happy with what he has got, but then doesn't use his right back. At right back, there's no excuses. That's what I'm saying. If he says he's happy with what he's got, Antonio's playing up front most of the time when Carroll's injured. He's got Coyote playing at right back when Byram's sitting on the bench. He can't be happy with what he's got. That's why I feel that it wasn't his choice. At Alex PB Sport, I feel the board have not put full confidence in Bilic, so that's why they haven't signed any. They need him back here 100%. 100% agree with that. At Tommy the Thames says, yes, knew our season was over, so no point in overspending. Make do and go again next year. Now, that's all right saying that there's no need to overspend, but they should have rectified these problems in the summer. It's mental that they haven't. At Jake Lodeman, regarding the right back situation, yes, that is his fault, but the striker situation isn't. We haven't had one of note since Dino. At least Salford says, when Byram is fit and obviously has personal issues with Arbeloa, Ivanovic on a free would have been the answer for a year or two. At Fergus WHUFC, he was probably at fault, but the owners have to take some of the blame. Even if he did say that, they should have turned around and said, no, you know what, go and get someone, just in case. At Serif the Bastard says, I don't believe for 1 second that Bilic didn't want to get a new striker and right back. The board didn't want to give funds. At Mark Sherburn Brown, did they want to wait until the summer rather than panic buy? They knew they would go down. Do they trust Bilic? Question mark. A couple more on this one, boys. Joshua Lister 8, a simple signing like Cedric would have helped us higher up the table, but at the same time, we wouldn't achieve much this season. At Sex WHU, yes, he must have made the call that the squad he's got is currently fine. No need to invest in quality in key areas next season. And one more, at Jamie B _ 1985, did the right thing holding back on too many January signings, paying inflated prices. But if fit, Byron should play right back, Coyote centre midfield. Bit of a split decision there. Some people believe he did, some people believing he'd done the right thing, some people believing that he didn't and he's not doing the right thing. But anyway, that's it for this edition of Midweek Musings. Thank you very much for watching this edition. Don't forget to go and check out all the other content that we've got on the channel. The on the social will be coming up in the next few days. Scott's preview, post-match pint after Bournemouth, which is going to be filmed from Bournemouth because we're going to be up there for a few days. And all the other good stuff that's coming this weekend. Don't forget to go and follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/West Ham Fan TV, Instagram, Snapchat, all the good stuff. Don't forget to go and follow the new Thames Ironworks Community FC page on Facebook and on Twitter. I don't know the handles. I'll have to put them in the link below, I think. And one thing left to say, lads. Come on, you irons.